The U.S. economy finished strong last year in the face of stubborn inflation and rising interest rates. The U.S. gross domestic product, or more commonly known as the GDP, increased at an annual rate of 2.9% in the fourth quarter of last year. It's a reading slightly higher than expected. Now, to discuss GDP and more about economic headlines, let's bring in economist Mitch Roschelle for the Mitch and Mitch Show. Mitch is also the founding partner at Macro Trends Advisors. Good morning, Mitch.
Good to see you. Good morning. Happy Friday.
So fourth quarter GDP, I was expecting it to be negative, quite honestly. I thought we were heading into a recession. We had 2 quarters of negative growth to begin last year and then 2 quarters of positive growth. What do you make of these GDP numbers?
They were higher than expected, but as I've said before to you, it's not uncommon for economists to be wrong in their expectations.
No. We expect you to be right every time.
Yeah. Well, tune elsewhere. I think that you're going to see a more marked slowing in the year we're in, 2023, and perhaps later in the year. Let's remember the fourth quarter is the holiday season, right? So, and consumers, which drive 70% of our economic activity in the country, were still busy shopping. The problem was they were loading up credit cards, but they were still shopping. So I'm not surprised that the fourth quarter was positive. It was higher than expected, but there's certainly a slowing in the offing.
Well, usually with an economic downturn, and granted, I'm not 100 years old and haven't seen them all, but for an economic downturn, to see the tech giants, the first movers here, like Google, Meta, Twitter, et cetera, Spotify for one, laying people off left and right, and then to see blue-collar jobs, things like Chipotle, other manufacturing, adding jobs, it seems like it's sort of turned on its head. A lot of times those blue-collar jobs suffer and the white-collar jobs are unharmed, but it's the opposite here. What do you make of that? Because I just find that very interesting.
Oh, it is very interesting. We have a very disrupted labor market. Prior to, if we go back to February of 2020, we had a very tight labor market. Unemployment was at a historical low, really in both white collar and blue collar jobs. Something very interesting prior to the shutdowns was wage growth amongst those sort of Chipotle workers, the lowest paid workers, the lowest quartile of workers, was the highest it had been in a long time of capturing that data, especially in an uninflationary period. Fast forward to today, we have 2 times more job openings than we do unemployed people. What we have, if I were to put 2 words to it, is a skills gap. So we're laying off skilled workers who work for big tech companies. They'll likely find jobs. I'm not too worried about them, but we can't fill sort of the unskilled jobs, which makes no sense to me because we have this skills gap. So it's confounding. And I think it has a lot to do with the last, 2.5 years of incentives that people had in terms of enhanced unemployment benefits. It's those lower paid jobs that were doing really, really well prior to the pandemic that we're still having, a really, really tough time filling.
It is interesting. It will continue to be interesting. So we'll ask you about it in the future. Maybe we'll have more data on it as well. Let's talk about President Biden, though. He is attacking the Republican tax plan. I just want your take on that, because obviously Republicans and Democrats don't agree on taxes pretty much ever. So is this different? Is this something new? Or is this just a tale as old as time?
Yeah, well, Republicans and Democrats, or Whigs and Tories, yelling at each other isn't anything new. But what's interesting is the Republicans proposed a consumption tax as part of their tax plan. And basically, for everybody's benefit, consumption tax is, like a sales tax, like basically a national sales tax. A sales tax, by definition, taxes everybody equally. So if you buy $100 worth of food, you pay the same tax, whether you're rich or poor. And that's a much different tax scheme than what we have, because the tax scheme we have now is something known as a progressive tax. The more money you make, the higher the tax rate that you pay. So it's very, very interesting. And it's probably something that is not uncommon when you look around the rest of the world that has a VAT tax. You're probably familiar with going to Europe and paying VAT. That's exactly what
value added tax, right?
It's value added tax. Yes, thank you. So I think we're going to hear more about it. But the big political thing is the Republicans talking about firing, the 87 IRS agents who haven't even been hired yet. And I think that's part of the mix.
Thanks for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation in your cable lineup. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-based, unbiased coverage.